Alrighty, we have our little schnoodle here, Mr. Schoko. He is about 11 weeks old and came all the way from California to Chicago. In this video, you're gonna see me working with him and I'm asking him, what do you know and what are you comfortable with, right? And I can tell that this little puppy is a little bit more sensitive by his slower movements, right? Like he doesn't have to be fast to be confident, but there's a certain way that they walk and intensity or intent that he isn't quite there yet. And I can tell by the way he doesn't come up to me right away that he is unsure, or he's just not as social. I'm a new person to him, and so when I sit on the ground, I'm trying to be very easy to come to, non-intimidating. So seeing that he's not as social and I'm a new person to him, I'm gonna make whatever I do super easy and make it into the tiniest building blocks that I can. He's sniffing, and then he goes, oh, well, I guess I could come over and say hi. And immediately, instead of trying to pet him or touch him or anything like that, you can see I put my hand out, I don't touch him. That's very purposeful because I know if I go in to touch him, he's gonna squat. He really wants to come say hi to me, but he's a little unsure. And that's where submissive peeing comes into play, is when they feel like they just go eek on the inside and it just kind of comes out and they can't physically help it. So if you want a puppy that doesn't submissive pee, you have to pay attention to when they do walk over and they kind of squat and waddle on the way over. That's them saying, I want to, but I'm unsure. I pull my hand up, I ask him to sit. Yay, good boy. He obviously knows sit from home. I put him on hold there. He goes, you know, I don't like being put on hold, so I'm gonna get up and do something else. So you see him sit there and wait and think about connecting with me, but because I didn't have enough food in my hands, he disconnected. I'm taking my hand to see, does he know down? That gap in my hand right there tells me it was too hard. He said, oh, I couldn't possibly follow that hand. That's too hard for me. If it wasn't too hard, he would have kept his nose on the food. He would have been like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And you'll see how I adjust here going forward to help make it easier for him. I just bring my hand back to him and I put my hand right on his nose. And now I'm giving him piece by piece, kibble after kibble. He stands up because he's like, ugh, I really don't like doing this position. That's him saying, again, a little too hard. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to keep my hand full of food so I don't get any disconnect from him and make it as easy as possible. Here, buddy, just stay in the sit and just bend your head over. That's all I want at this moment. So I'm breaking down the down so that way I'm making it easier for him. And I know eventually that little puppy body is going to get tired and eventually he's going to lay down. So all I have to do is just keep Pez dispensing kibble. Oh, there he goes. He did it. Yay! Good boy, good boy, good boy. And there I can pet him because he came to me. He's starting to build that relationship with me and I'm making it so easy that I'm trustworthy. If I make it too hard, he's going to go, I really don't like this and you're not a good teacher. Goodbye. You can see the entire time, it's my job to keep him connected with me, to choose me over the environment. Granted, there's not a lot going on right now because there's not any other puppies or a ton of other people around, but he could go explore the couch, he could go explore the shamrocks, he could keep sniffing the floor, right? It's my job to make it so easy that he'd rather play with me than go do anything else. And every puppy is a little bit different, and that's what I'm trying to diagnose or see on the fly and what I'm gonna do. So for this kind of puppy, instead of asking for many different things from him, which I think might be a little bit too much for him, I am going to just keep asking for that down a couple more times. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but definitely I want to build on that behavior, but also I don't want to move around a ton. He's still a little unsure of who I am. And if I'm sitting on the ground, I'm way less intimidating. And if I want to do any other training stuff with him, I should start standing up and moving around a little bit. So that way I can work on a stay or a recall, which he's really not going to do at this moment with me sitting on the ground. You can see here as I'm going through, I'm still, again, trying to make it so easy that he is just sitting and laying down. There's the sit. And then I'm gonna pull my hand down. And he's like, sure, I got it. You made it so easy, and you explained to me piece by piece what you want. That's the very important thing. I have to break it down, not for me to understand, but for him to understand, right? He has no idea what I want. So right now I have to lure him and show him exactly what I want for him and this specific puppy.